Welcome back to another episode of Lip Service World with me, Sonia Elise, beauty marketing specialist and creator mentor, as well as the founder of High Gloss Creator Membership. Last week, I went to such a fun event with TikTok and a wonderful agency out of Brooklyn, Puff Media Group, whom I've had a relationship with for years. Fun fact, in 2022, I was one of the first people to test TikTok Live shopping through a Puff Media Group. They're a preferred partner of TikTok and were given the opportunity to test TikTok shopping live on behalf of TikTok, and I was one of the hosts. I was very, very pregnant at the time, just before I gave birth to Wesley, and it was super, super fun, which is why I've always been, number one, close with the Puff Media team, and number two, very invested in both TikTok and TikTok Shop. Last week, they were kind enough to invite me to their TikTok Shop Beauty Besties event, and I had such a great time. Get in, loser. We're going to TikTok. I was lucky enough to snag an invite to the TikTok beauty event. I'm taking you with me. Buckle up, Buttercup. Safety's first. All right, baby angels. Let's head to Industry City. Yes, that's Brooklyn, to hang out with the beauty industry's finest of TikTok. We're gonna be late. Let's go. Sir, it's one lane. If it's torture. I just found a parking spot. Parallel park. We got this, bitch. In one. Still a California bitch at heart. As a creator mentor, it is so important for me to show up at events like these, not only just to network, meet people in person, but also to really have a handle on what is going on in the creator world right now. While it is absolutely exhausting, it's so worth it to do it for my High Gloss members. That's it from TikTok X Puff Media. Thank you guys so much for coming with me. Wasn't this so much fun / extremely overwhelming? Okay, I had so much fun. Bye. Good? Okay, good. What I wanted to talk about was something that they gave me that I think is so useful for my beauty creator besties. These are guidelines for responsible skincare related content. These were being passed out from TikTok personnel to the creators in attendance, including moi. And you know, I live to serve. I think that so many beauty TikTok creators are getting violations left and right. And it's because there are so many specifics to creating content around skincare and the beauty industry. So let's read these, talk about them, and make sure that you are not getting violations on your next TikTok Shop video. Guidelines for responsible skincare related content. Key points. 1. Ensure product claims are accurate and reflect what's on the packaging or are backed by approved disclaimers, aka be very careful in the language that you use to describe each product. This is where making sure that you have sticky notes or a whiteboard next to where you are recording is going to be very important, so that you can write out very detailed notes and do not get off script. 2, avoid using beauty filters and exaggerate product effects. I feel like that's a given by now, right? I think everyone in the beauty industry knows by now that we are not using beauty filters and effects anymore, especially not if we are reviewing or selling a product. It's a huge no-no in my book. This probably more pertains to people who are reviewing and selling products on TikTok Shop that are not beauty and skincare first content creators. So these are likely people who are creating content around beauty and skincare, but it's not their primary focus. And perhaps they're using filters in other styles of content. Still not something that I personally support, but I know it is done. Let's get away from filters, period. 3, do not promote prescription-based or professionally supervised products. I think that this is very interesting because we have a lot of discourse around GLP-1s, Mounjaro, supplements, and a lot around like diet culture right now on TikTok specifically. Now, None of those products that I am aware of are available through TikTok Shop. So you would have to be approached, I think, somewhere along the side. I'm not entirely sure how you would be promoting a product like that and linking it to TikTok Shop. Either way, even if it's not linked to TikTok Shop, I think you should be very careful, especially on TikTok, working with a partner that requires a prescription. So you may have seen, it's taking over my feed right now with like Lady Gaga and a few other partners, people who have like migraines talking about prescribed medicine on TikTok. And there is tons of disclaimers, so much language that goes on screen. It's really wild. Legal when it comes to prescribed medicines and what you promote on social is absolutely insane. I would say stay away from it. And even TikTok is saying, don't do it. And then lastly, avoid posting graphic or uncomfortable close-ups of skincare or body care procedures. I find this very interesting because right now, especially in the skincare beauty industry, we have a major influx of people who are being very forthcoming with cosmetic procedures. Facelifts, Botox, filler, those are being widely publicized. And personally, I think that's great. We should have way more open and honest conversations about procedures like these. P.S. Thank you, Nude Sticks. They were one of the brands at this event and they gifted me some of their favorite products. I've been dying to try Picante, so I was super excited that they had it and gifted it to me. I do wonder if you put a disclaimer at the beginning, like graphic warning, trigger warning, I wonder if that is helpful at all. I mean, you know that TikTok scans and can see everything that you put on screen. So I do wonder about that. So be careful if you are someone who is doing any sort of content around products that are helping you heal after a medical procedure, after Botox, after filler. Be very careful how close up and graphic you are getting, even though that might be the content that shocks and really intrigues people. It could be something that is getting you a violation. Next, on to their best practices. What they've outlined here is number 1, accurate product statements. Ensure claims about product match what's listed on packaging or official site. We already went over that. Read everything closely, and if you are not good at memorizing the facts, make sure that your filming setup includes post-it notes, dry erase board, or someplace where you can read out the very specific facts that are going to sell a product. Do not make them up. That will lead you straight to TikTok jail. Next, use disclaimers. This is so important and something as a beauty marketing professional that I've known for a long time, but now that the marketing of products is shifting to TikTok Shop, to your hands as a creator, this is something you absolutely need to know. If showing before and after results, include disclaimers on screen like results may vary to clarify personal experiences versus universal claims, right? Just because this was your experience with a product does not mean this is how everyone is going to react when using it. Be honest. Just because you used a whitening product and you were able to whiten your teeth in 3 hours, look at the huge difference. Results may vary. You see this in commercials all of the time. You see this in social media content all of the time. Creator content is no different. You are held to the same standard as everyone else. You should be using disclaimers. I use this product every single day, morning and night for 4 weeks, and these are the results I had. Being specific, not just I use this for 4 weeks, but I use this 2 times a day, every single day for 4 weeks. Your results may vary if you're only using it 1 time a day or every other day. A very good call out. Next, leveraging personal experience. Base comparisons or product endorsements on personal use or supported evidence, not exaggerated claims. So just because you read somewhere else that a product did something does not mean that you're allowed to repeat that. You have to do it based off of your experience. You're not allowed to exaggerate other people's claims. You are not allowed to be over the top with your own claims, borderline lying. It needs to be based off of your personal experience and what has happened to you, not I saw so-and-so had these results, don't you want to get them too? No, it needs to be your results. What to avoid? Okay, I hope you guys have been taking notes, but this one seems very important. Beauty filters. Avoid digital effects that could exaggerate product results as this mislead viewers. That feels obvious, but with how good beauty filters are these days, it would be probably very difficult to even detect on some people's content if they had certain filters on, honestly. Have you seen some of the creators who finally like take a filter off, or creators who meet other creators in real life and they're like,
wait a minute. You've been using that same filter on every single video for years, and this is what you look like in real life.
And it's not like, oh, this is what you look like in real life, like, ew, disgusting, but it's just like, what? Mind fuck. I was not prepared. I did not know that was what you were gonna look like. I posted a thread about this recently. People who are not comfortable like videoing themselves and showing up online without filters should really reconsider becoming content creators and influencers, because as you grow, you're gonna be invited to an event. You're gonna run into somebody who follows you in person. You're going to go on a brand trip. You are going to meet people in real life. Brands will ask you to a coffee date. You will get invited places, and people are gonna know what you look like. You can't hide forever. You cannot hide forever. Don't let there be a harsh reality, okay? This happened years ago. If you don't know, I've been doing this for over a decade. And very early on, when it was just the Instagram girlies, there was a very bad Photoshop problem. And there was so many girlies, because especially in the fashion world, who were using different Photoshop techniques on their bodies to look skinnier, to look taller, all types of things. And then as the PR person who is gifting them clothes, taking them out for coffees, inviting them to New York Fashion Week, I'd meet them and I'd be like, okay, this is a little different than I was expecting. Or I would email someone. It would be the first time I was offering them a gift. I was very heavy into denim clients at the time, and I'd be offering them a gift of denim, and they would request a size, and I would be like, are you sure that's the size that you want? Like, these weren't true to size, and it would be 3 or 4 sizes larger than what I would expect them to be based off of their imagery. And that's not a body shaming comment. That is truly a like, okay, now I know you are heavily altering your appearance. Please just start out showing how you actually look from the beginning, and you will avoid getting called out or having any embarrassing moments. Next, graphic close-ups. As we talked about, avoid showing disturbing close-ups of procedures like, oh, here they get more specific. Pimple extractions, waxing, or blood-related treatments which may make viewers uncomfortable. If you are going to do videos or vlogs of you that include like Botox or injections, make sure that there is no blood. I used to have a client that was specific to injections, and essentially what we would do is we would video to the point of the injection. When the needle would actually penetrate the skin, we would cut. So you would never actually see needles penetrating skin. Therefore, there would never be any blood. And then we would cut to the after once, if anyone did ever bleed, which is kind of rare. If there was blood, we would make sure it was cleaned up. It was just redness and small spots. And then, you would go on with the video. So if you are promoting a product that helps in healing after injections, healing after a cut or a bruise or something like that, make sure if you're showing a close-up that there is no active blood or ickiness, essentially. Not everyone is okay with that type of visual, and clearly TikTok is sensitive to that. Also, pimple extractions. That used to be a huge viral trend. Looks like if you are going to be linking something to TikTok Shop, it's a no-no. And then waxing. I recently went down a very interesting spiral hole on at-home waxing, because I'm going to try at-home waxing before my upcoming beach vacation for the first time. And what I thought was so interesting was that so many of the videos where people were doing the demos were like people drawing a photo and like doing it, people Like, it was just so funny the way that people were doing the demos. And now I know why, is because they did not want to get violations by showing any actual skin being waxed. Next, language that makes outright claims to treat or fix a condition. That is a huge no-no. You cannot say that this is going to fix your problem. You don't know that for sure. Let's get real, folks. And avoid exaggeration of what a product or an ingredient can do. Essentially, these are the words that they're giving that are major no-nos: treats, cures, gets rid of, or fixes. So maybe you could say things like, this helps with, this would be best for, this might alleviate the symptoms of. So you want to be very careful with that language because they're telling you here to avoid these very specific words. Lastly, exaggerated timelines for treatment. For example, avoid, it fixed my hyperpigmentation in just 2 weeks. Clearly, that's not true. We all know that hyperpigmentation is not fixed in 2 weeks, okay? But what you might be able to say instead was, I saw noticeable results, noticeable improvement in my hyperpigmentation after 2 weeks of consistent use. And then results may vary. Now, underlined and bold, the goal is to maintain authentic and accurate content, ensuring a trustworthy experience for viewers and buyers on TikTok Shop. There you have it, my lovelies, straight from the horse's mouth. The do not do's, must avoids. Do not get yourself a violation. If you are promoting beauty and skincare on TikTok Shop, please take note of everything that I have described today. Avoid those violations, keep your account clean, and keep selling because we all want you to get that back. I'll see you on the next episode.